1 in 5 items sold at the supermarket is now their own private label. Families with 4 to 5 children are the biggest buyers of these generic brands. The attraction has long been the price gap between the generics and the non-generic brands. But as generics now dominate the shelves, marketing experts are forecasting 2008 will see substantial price rises in these once cheaper alternatives.
How dare the supermarkets dictate to us what we can eat?
And before you know it, you're paying as much as you do for the name brand products.
They get high margins. They don't have to pay marketing costs, slotting fees. The margins are a lot higher compared to national branded products.
The landscape is changing here in your local supermarket. Traditional favourites are being squeezed out as the shelves fill with products Coles and Woolworths Safeway brand as their own. Generics started out as the cheapest unbranded items. Not anymore. In the past 2 years, the major supermarket chains have introduced 3 tiers of their own brands, now known collectively as private label. Cheap, cheaper and cheapest? Not quite.
I think it's a disaster for the customer, really. You've got far less choice than you had before. You're not getting what you want.
Geoff Bowell from Starship Marketing is a food branding specialist and believes the supermarket strategy of releasing a competing private label product in every price range won't save the consumer any money in the long run.
With 2 players owning 75% of the grocery trade in Australia, we're at their mercy. Make no mistake, we'll pay for this at the end.
Consumers are lapping it up. In 2 years, the private label market has grown to 20% of the grocery market, and it's predicted to hit 40% or $20 billion in the next 3 years.
I love the cheese and the milk and the breakfast products, and yeah, I find that they're great.
Jo Taylor is on a tight budget. She's experimented with private label products from Coles, Smart Buy at the lower end, and You'll Love Coles, which competes in the mainstream.
What I've noticed is that when they start the products off, they're very cheap, very good price, and over time they start to go up maybe 1 cent here, 5 cents there, and before you know it, they're up around the same price as the leading brand products.
The names we've come to know and trust over generations will lose real estate on supermarket shelves. Coles has plans to expand its line to 6,000 products, Woolworths Safeway to 2,000.
The supermarkets don't care what the consumer wants. The supermarkets knock off an existing brand that they know sells well and they give it back to you. What you actually want is irrelevant to the supermarkets.
The supermarkets are winning, but there is a trade-off. Consumers are getting better prices and the quality of the product is fairly good.
Mark Gans of Ibis World predicts the private label items will thrive. Supermarkets will have the power to negotiate with fewer suppliers and will keep a lid on prices.
There's no point in private label increasing their prices because they can't be competitive against the national brand products. I guess the only real loser is the 3rd and 4th tier supplier that are really losing shelf space on Australian supermarkets.
But the branding specialist is still deeply suspicious of what this will really mean, fearing the supermarket stranglehold will result in even bigger profits for them and less choice with higher prices for us. But he does have a solution.
Oh, please, if you've got any choice, if you've got any time at all, go to an independent instead. Go where you can buy the cheese you want, the chocolate you want, the biscuits that you want, instead of being forced to buy something that they're telling you that you should have.
Sophie Hull with what's in store for shoppers. Now,